And then I have judges for the Young Author Award 2021. And the first person to basically share is Chloe Cheng. Chloe, I think she came to the program when she was 10. She was from Innova Primary School. Chloe now, she wrote this story called School Cinderella. Chloe now is 20, yeah, and I think she's doing English Lit in UK, right? And she's unable to be with us, but Gwen is going to share her video. Thank you very much, Gwen. So I have to stop share. Yes.
Hi, I'm Minxing, and I'm currently studying English literature at university. I was part of the YAA through my primary school. We had this program where we got to write short stories for them to be edited and published and then, like sent in, I think, to the YAA. My memory is a bit hazy now, I'm so sorry. It's been like 10 years since that happened. Um, but anyway, I was really impressed by all your writings. It was just so brilliant, and it was just so much better than the stuff that I could have come up with when I was your age. So really good job, everybody. And one of my favorites has to be Us Against the World. I really loved the intertextuality, so the references to Ovid, to Shakespeare, to mythology. All of that was just so wonderfully done and so creative and so skillful. Um, and I also enjoyed the combination of plays and poetry and prose just in that one piece of work. It was a fantastic read. And I'm a sucker for romance, so the way the story went and the ending, I'm not gonna spoil it for like you guys if you guys haven't read it yet, but the ending, like the last two lines of the story, those are really good. Yeah, so thank you for writing just that amazing short story, and thank you everybody for submitting your brilliant short stories. They were wonderful to read. And who knows, maybe one day we'll see you guys on the shelves of some bookstores in Singapore. And till then, bye.
Great. Thank you. That was Chloe. And the story she mentioned was Lau Haning's Us Against the World, I think. Yeah. All right. Okay. And so we come to the next one. All right. And the next is Nanda. Nanda, I'm not sure whether Nanda is here today, Gwen, because I think you're running his video, but is Nanda here today? Would you like to share, Nanda, if you're here? Is he here? No. Okay. All right. So Gwen, maybe I could leave that to you to share his video.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Nanda, a law student. I'm also the president of SMU Legal Innovation and Technology and a steering committee member of the Asia Pacific Legal Innovation and Technology Association. So in 2010, I was selected by my school for the Young Author Scheme, after which I won an award under the YAA, which very graciously helped publish my book, From Young to Old. I've also helped out in YA's initiatives, such as contributing to short pieces in the Young Reader Club magazine. I must say that the YA is an excellent platform to initiate a journey in writing with a very supportive community that still engages you even after a decade, as is the case with myself. So the story that I'd like to feature is a very poignant, more than meets the eye tale. It is one that leaves the reader in suspense about what and who violence and the chess game really represent. A story matched only by its equally thought-provoking title. A story titled Pieces of Daisy by Lim Si-hao. I'm especially impressed by the way the scenes switch between, firstly, the author's strangely cold chess game with Daisy, and secondly, the more visceral, emotional narrative of the real world. This story is a statement of imagination, and I see much potential in both the story and the author. With that said, the quality of submissions is impressive across the board, and I wish all young authors the best of luck for your endeavors in writing and in life.
Thank you. Thank you. That was Nanda Mintin. and he came when he was 10, I think 10 or 11, and he wrote yeah, give me a while, this book called From Young to Old in the Young Author Scheme. Yeah. Okay, the next person that we're going to show a video is John Lackman. John, are you here today? I know Timothy is around. Is John here? No? Okay. All right. He has submitted the video. And so Gwen, can you take over, please?
Hello everyone, my name is John Lackman and I would like to congratulate all the YAA finalists for making it this far. I would also like to thank Janus Education for inviting me back to serve as a judge. So the story that I've chosen to talk about today is Lit Candles by Adele Cison. It's essentially the story of a girl called Alma and her dad during the Japanese occupation in Manila, the Philippines. Ultimately, the story talks a lot about these themes of family, of love, of well, in some cases, the atrocities of war and whatnot. And I think what really piqued my interest about it was how it offered such a fresh perspective on a narrative on a story that to some sometimes seems very trite. And I think that in the media nowadays, we don't really see coverage, we don't really see the retelling of these stories from an Asian perspective, or in this case, in particular in general, Southeast Asians. And I think that was a very fresh take on it. And I think that you can really see how this background, how this setting influences these characters and gives us a very different perspective on a story of family that we might be able to relate to perhaps, or that we might have seen in other settings. But yet I, at least to me, I found it was captured quite beautifully and quite poignantly by Adele. And so, well, that's why I've chosen to talk about it today. So once again, as I come to the end of this recording, I just like to congratulate everyone for their excellent writing, for giving me this opportunity, and for the very enjoyable time I have had. Thank you.
All right. So that's the third judge, John Lackman, sorry, and 3 videos, 3 different stories that they talk about. All right. My next judge is around. Okay, so no videos. The next 5 will be sharing their views on judging. Well, just let me put on the yeah, give me a while. Okay, so we had yeah, okay, we had Chloe, right? And I didn't put this in. That's Nanda. All right. And his story was from young to old. And in the young author scheme, he was 10, I think 10 or 11. Yeah. And then we had John Lackman, who wrote The Red Swan. Okay. And he was sharing about Adele Cison's story, that he enjoyed reading it. Right. And so the next judge I have, Kendrick. Kendrick goes a long way back with us. Yeah, he has been, I think, one of our most. He was our core member for the Young Reader Club, and we did a lot of stuff together. He worked with Carlo, my editor, who has gone back to the Philippines. Yeah, so can I welcome Kendrick? He was in the video. If you find him familiar, yes. Can I welcome Kendrick to share? Hi, Kendrick.
Hi. Thanks, Miss Koo. Okay, so I understand I have 2 minutes, right? First of all, congratulations to everyone whose stories I've had the chance to read. Also to some familiar faces, nice to be working with you again, Miss Koo. Every now and then, every couple of years, I will get a call from you asking whether I'm needed to judge, right? So I think I'm not sure about the other judges, but having been in a very special position, having judged it actually, I think from a very early point on until now, I'm told I have to speak about one particular story, right? But I actually want to speak about, the whole process of judging in general, because I think it's very interesting. I'm not sure, Ms. Koo, if you have noticed this, or the rest of you, right, or the other judges, right, that the way writing has evolved in the past 5 to 10 years or so, one of the things I've noticed is that, especially for this year in particular, that because we are much more exposed to film and TV or visual literature, so to speak, that the way we write is actually very influenced by that. One of the things I noticed is that the prevalence of large chunks of dialogue in some of the submissions, and I had to think about it, and I think that's a lot in part attributable to us watching a lot of things. Last time we used to only be able to read stuff, and occasionally we'll watch stuff on the silver screen or on the small screen, and now it's so common. We have Netflix, we have Amazon Prime, we have Disney Plus and all that, and so we're constantly watching content. I think what I realized was that the show and not tell sort of principle is not as strong as it used to be, right? The idea of the long form storybook is very different from the episodal, one episode in a series, and so you tell a mini story. I think that's very interesting. I mean, now with the game writing as well, how content has evolved, and also it's great because we see a lot of original content, some ideas. I mean, having been around long enough, watching enough, and reading enough, you know where all the inspiration comes from, right? Oh, okay, this kind of like this movie, kind of like this book, kind of like this play. But it's very interesting how these trends shift from time to time. You see a lot more inspiration from TV as opposed to books and movies now. I mean, that's just my 2 cents worth. Once again, congratulations to all the finalists and the shortlisted young authors, as well as the parents. A lot to be proud of today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kendrick. Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, that we're more visual now. Yeah, and storytelling has become more visual. Yeah, rather than we read a lot of books, the hot versus the cold element. Yeah, right. Thank you, Kendrick. Yeah, and always lovely to see you again. Yeah. And we have our next judge, who is Charmaine. Yeah, Charmaine is here with us now. And Charmaine, I think, won first place, yes, in the Young Author Award for her story. And Charmaine, are you there? Could you share?
Hi.
Hi, Charmaine.
Hi everyone. I'm Charmaine and I'm currently 17. I'm still a student in JC now. I was first introduced to the YAC in my primary school's writing club, and I also participated in the 2017 YAA. I remember being very nervous when I started writing my first book, but I am so thankful for Miss Khoo's guidance. She really cultivated my love for writing and encouraged me to pursue this passion. I'm very thankful for you, Miss Khoo. My favorite book among the submissions is Lit Candles by Adele Sisson. I really enjoyed this story because I feel it was very perfectly delivered, especially with such a mature topic about the Japanese occupation in Manila. I don't want to spoil the plot because I think everyone should read it for themselves, and I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. But the plot is not centered around a very dramatic event per se, but rather it uses this event to focus on the feelings of the characters. For example, grief, resilience, love, and which is arguably harder to portray accurately and in such a touching manner. I also love the very evocative nature of writing, and it very effectively set the tone for the mood for many of the scenes in the story. And personally, when I was writing my book in primary school, I faced a lot of difficulty finding the right words to use and the correct sentence structure to allow the reader to understand what I want to portray. And even now, at 17, is still not so simple for me. But the writer here, she does it so effortlessly, and she does it so well, and that's what I really admire. I feel another thing worth mentioning is also a commendable effort was made to set the story in a Southeast Asian country, and the effort was very well executed, I feel. The writer had clearly done a lot of research into the historical, socio-cultural, and political context of like where and when the story took place, and I feel this made the story more authentic and genuine. A lot of effort obviously was put into the story, and it allowed it to possess a certain quality of sincerity and earnestness that made it stand out from the others. I have read the story many, many times over and over again, and each time I rediscover it again, and I feel that I'm blown away by just like how great it is and how well it's written. So I would like to congratulate all the young authors here for making their submissions and writing their books. And I hope that everyone here continues to explore your love for writing and cultivate it further. Thank you.
Thank you, Charmaine. Yeah, Adele, congratulations. Yeah, right. Okay, right. And so the next person I have is Timothy. All right. Timothy is the brother of John Lackman. Yeah. And so, Timothy, are you there?
Yes. Good afternoon. I'm Timothy Lackman. I'm 14 currently, and I just completed my third year in ACSI. I participated in the Young Author Scheme in 2016, and it was the first real opportunity for me to showcase my writing. Since then, I've participated in numerous other writing programs that have been equally as enriching, and just this June, I participated in the CAP or the Creative Arts program. With that aside, the book I really enjoyed was Us Against the World by Hanning Lau, which was an enthralling story that blended moving romance and fantastical world building. I was delighted by its depiction of fatal attraction through references to tragic Greek myths and the Greek pantheon. As someone who grew up reading about Greek mythology and the Percy Jackson books, I thoroughly enjoyed the various not too different gods and figures of myth woven in with the author's own lore. The writing was purely majestic, and the writer cleverly used short, abrupt sentences to build the suspense during the climax and leading up to it. Furthermore, I was captivated by how they use flowery poetry amidst all this beautiful prose to convey the protagonist's inner monologue and rush of emotions in the moment. This made the ending all the more tragic and brilliantly tied back to the theme of the fertility of love, as despite all the efforts, the main characters suffered a fate as old as time. All in all, I like to congratulate all the young authors as I enjoy each and every one of these pieces.
Thank you. Thank you, Timothy. Nice to see you again. Yeah. And the last speaker, whom I'm, no, sorry, not the last one. Before the last, right? I have Shane. Shane, you've seen her in the video, yeah. And Shane loves drawing, right? But I like to invite Shane now to speak about the Young Author Award and judging.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, it's great to be here again. Thank you so much. Okay, good day, everyone. Good day, Miss Koo. As the sun shines, we will rise. The power of Levant continues to live on in Ophir and in our hearts. Together, we shine bright. Once again, good day to you all. I am Shania Marie Matrice, author of Ophir, Child of Levant, and currently studying at De La Salle University, Manila. Last 2020, my story won second place in the Philippines and was shortlisted in the Asia Young Authors Awards. And here we are now in AYAA 2021. It amazes me that these children and teens are enjoying, or rather they're joining to enhance their story writing skills and becoming not just young authors, but also young champions. Congratulations, everyone. So among all the entries I have read, apologies if I mispronounce the name. So Blueberry Pancakes by Daryasri Kartigesan is my best pick. I'm personally not a fan of reading heartwarmers or romantic stories, either because of how cliche it is to me, or I prefer action-packed adventures over a mellow plot. But this caught my attention. Upon seeing it, I asked myself, why Blueberry Pancakes? Why is it the title? The story is a roller coaster of emotions where you feel the sense of sympathy, suspicion, tears, and joy. I thought the usual friends to lovers was going to happen, but this story properly handled the concept of meeting a friend along the journey to build each other's character without the necessary romantic approach. Again, Why is the title Blueberry Pancakes? There's a lot of symbolism in the story. And to say it in the most spoiler-free way possible, it symbolizes that happiness is felt even from the simplest things in life. And lastly, its important moral lessons are the following. 1, it is only you who knows what's best for you in life. And 2, there's always a reason why we meet new people. It's either to receive a blessing or to be their blessing. That is all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shane. Thank you so much. Yes, all right. And so we come to the last young author judge, and I'd like to welcome Brian Joel Lim, who is also in law and who's the same age as Kendrick. Yeah, so we go a long, long way back. Brian, are you around? I hope he's around. Brian, are you there? No, I don't think he's around. Brian, are you there? Oh no, okay. I don't think Brian is around. Gwen, did Brian do a recording?
No, he didn't. He mentioned he was going to attend, so
Okay, never mind.
yeah.
Brian, okay, so Brian, let me just introduce him. Brian is like Kendrick, 26 years old, and also in law. In fact, I think I have 3 young authors who are doing law. The guys actually go into law. I don't know why. The girls go into literature. Yeah, right. And so Brian wrote a book when he was let me see, when he was 10 as well. And this is him at 10. He was featured, I think, in the very early issues of the Young Reader Club. Yeah, and Brian, I'll let him speak about it next time, I guess, if he does. Yeah, but so I have all my young author judges, 8 of them, and they shared about the stories that they love. Okay. All right. So thank you, everyone. And we come to the next segment. Okay.